of the media houses as you select among yourself to say a word or two on behalf of the media houses, after which the Inspector General of Police will give us his remarks, and then we will be done with the first session. After the first session, we will kindly request the media, the reporters to leave us with their cameras so that we have a closed door session. Shall we please welcome Director General of Operations, Mr. Suraj, with the club, as the Director of the opening.
Good afternoon to all of you. Let me also stand on the existing protocol started by MC. The Inspector General of Police, members of the Police Management Board, the media. This afternoon, the Inspector General of Police felt it prudent and necessary as part of our stakeholder engagement, which we began at the beginning of this year, to invite you so as to enable us brief you towards the preparations that we've embarked upon for the December elections. These are some of the strategic measures that Inspector General of Police, as the chairperson of the National Election Security Task Force, to once in a while meet the key stakeholders and interact with them, create the opportunity for sharing of ideas to work together towards a secure, peaceful election. So, ladies and gentlemen, please feel free, you are welcome, and enjoy the comfort of our election emergency command center. I thank you for coming.
Thank you very much, Director General of Operations, Commissioner of Police, Mr. Mohammed Hussein Suraj. It is now the turn to have a few remarks from representatives of the media houses. One or two of you would be fine. So whoever will choose to. Please let's welcome Alaji as he comes.
Well, I thought this should have come at the end of the imposed presentation to us. But as it were, we are delighted to be here. And I must say I'm excited. The last time I came here, it wasn't this leafy, it wasn't this beautiful. So congratulations, IGP and his administration for changing the face of the police headquarters. Somebody remarked earlier that it now looks like police headquarters.
Oh my God.
Thank you very much indeed. I hope we are going to have a wonderful session this afternoon because perhaps there are many nagging questions my colleagues want to pose. So at this stage, I think there is nothing until after you have given us your presentation. Should any of my colleagues want to say a word or two, I think I've ended my section. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alaji. I've just been informed that Mr. Evans Mensah will say a few words as well. Please let's welcome him.
My kid brother, I can't order him around.
Yes. I think
My
we're
father, now you're official.
You know, those of us who are on call are struggling with this, but I hope you don't mind if I remove it and hold it. Yes. So thank you, IG, and thank you, the police service, for inviting all of us here. I got a call in the morning, and I was told that we've been summoned. And all I said was, yes, sir. And I started making calls to the rest of my colleagues to say we have to prepare and come in the numbers to be here. I knew it would have something to do with the elections. And since I entered the room and watching around and seeing and observing and noticing, and I can say that I've seen a few things that gives me cause for comfort, even before I begin to hear the details about why we're here. So since I was asked to say a few words on behalf of my colleagues, we're all looking forward to hearing the details of this, and I know some of us came with a few questions that we have to put to IG and his team, and we're grateful that you thought us worthy of engagement. And I know this is part of a broad series of engagement you've been having. Yesterday I was watching on television And I noticed that you've been engaging civil society already. And if I'm not mistaken, this is just a second of the groups that you're engaging, which actually says how important you sort of place us in the big scheme of things. And we obviously, before we really do anything, senior colleagues of us here are committed to the cause of peace. And all of us are, in one way or the other, working to ensure that we are good partners to the police in executing a flawless election, one that will go down in history as one of the most peaceful. And we can assure you that that is something that we are very committed to. And so without saying more, we'll wait to hear the rest of the story around why we're here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Evans Mensah. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall now hear from the Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Ekusi.
I hear with prayers. Is that okay? Thank you. When you have your uncle, unfortunately today, there's only one uncle here. So when you have your uncle, and you have brothers and sisters, all in one place, it gives you a lot of comfort. And you find it difficult to be formal. So forgive me if I ended up being formal. I didn't cause it. The relationship between myself and your very good self across the room might be her responsible. So without much protocol, I want to add my voice to the words of welcome that preceded me from our director in charge of public affairs and also our director general in charge of operations. Second, I want to say that today the purpose, much as is about the election, is no more about the details of our plans. We'll have another meeting with you in terms of the details of our plan and the assurances that you need to have for yourself, for your families, and for the people you serve. But because my two other officers and also my uncle and my kid brother have spoken about the fact that we want to hear a little about the elections, I'll be very snappy on that and then come back to the main reason why we invited him. As for the elections, there is a saying that Agrobeswa Efranopa. In effect, if truly we are going to see a good show, we should look at the beginning, even though it has not always happened as such. But we are committed because of the efforts we put in our planning towards these elections. We are clear in our minds where the challenges are, where the issues are, and we have sufficiently put in measures to address them. And if you can see from all the work we've done since this election process started in earnest, from all the Electoral Commission's activities to date, you will see that there's truly an effective and efficient security plan in place, whose effectiveness has been strengthened by the support and collaboration of all stakeholders, including your very good self. So for that reason, we are grateful. The service is grateful to you. The National Election Security Task Force, comprising all the security agencies, are grateful to you. And also, Ghana, that you serve, through your information and gatekeeper, is grateful. You can never be left out of the equation for it to be balanced. Without you, the equation of ensuring that our democratic dispensation becomes the envy of others will not balance. So we want you to be aware that we hold you in high esteem. Thank you for being there for Mother Ghana. And let's do this together and make this election a success. So you will see that compared to previous elections, the tension in the environment is different and relatively manageable. And at times, if you look at it across the matters of democracy, you see that even the tension in the environment during the election is more than what we experience in our country. In fact, today I play host to a very important person from Kenya, and he walked into my office and he said, until I came to your office and you're talking about elections, I didn't know Ghana was having elections in the next 2 weeks. And the calmness of the environment, the less tension in the environment, is a credit to every Ghanaian that we must be proud of. So you see that because of the things we put in place, and your support and the support of the electoral community and other stakeholders, we are gradually getting to the end of a campaigning cycle or period where we haven't seen much of the things that put us on tantables. Let us finish hard and prove a point to the rest of Africa that truly Ghana is always a trade league. And let us use our collective achievement to let the black man, and for that matter, African, shine in the eyes of the rest of the world. Let's finish hard on the campaign. Then when we come to the D-Day, it's another leg. Let's double our commitment, which we are doing from a security point of view. That is why I keep referring to a 5,430-something or 40-something page document, the blueprint and development plan for only the D-Day. That demonstrates the amount of effort, commitment, and energies we put in place in ensuring that we work together with you and other stakeholders to make this election a one of a kind in terms of peace, security, law, and order. The credit will be for all of us. So let us all take a vote. Then on the D-Day, in terms of deployment across the polling stations, we are there. Across the hotspots, we are there. Across the collection centers, we are there. And also across patrols and rapid response, we are there. We are currently working with the telcos to assign to us a dedicated number that will be used in this room. We will share that with you, share that with all the political parties, share that with all the stakeholders, so that wherever you find yourself, when there is a situation, and the situation you think that is not being managed well, and you need intervention at the very highest, you can, through calling that number, assess myself directly, and assess any of the commissioners and the team members on the ground. And we are going to use an engagement approach to handle the situation by bringing on board all the stakeholders at the very highest level, so that at the end of the day, any situation that normally starts very small, then because of lack of perfect mechanism for resolving it, it gets out of hand. We will virtually eliminate it. Let me explain that probably later. Normally what you've seen at the polling station, something will happen, something very trivial, that needs a little patience and a little engagement to iron out the differences. It will be more handled, and at times the security personnel on the ground will do his very best, and still you have issues with party officials, agents, and others trying to break problems. When that happens, and it comes to our attention, we'll call to that grounds from here, get the regional commander, other senior officers on grounds on the phone, get the political parties from their national level, their district level, constituency level, also on the phone, and find out what exactly is the matter on the ground. And it may come in multiples, but because the dedicated line has core transferring capacity, okay, probably we'll be able to be dealing with multiple issues at the same time, because as soon as it comes, we'll then refer, the commissioner will be on it, we may call a general secretary of the two parties, or national organizers of the two parties, we will call an agent of the parties on the ground, and we look at the issue. And when they get to know that the very top is helping them to solve it, they will end up not taking matters into their own hands before we go in there and reactively respond to a situation that has gotten out of hand. So a lot of thinking is going to this whole process and trying to look at all the possible issues that can bring problems and find a very peaceful mechanism to resolving them in a manner that will help us to make sure that at the end of the day, little misunderstanding that may come, the way they are resolved to the satisfaction of everybody will lead to no problem in terms of any violence. The other point that we keep also saying, also to the people who think that they can probably come out with making statements to intimidate and do all that. We want to tell them that life will become very uncomfortable for them. So they shouldn't even try. Because at the end of the day, when you do anything and de-escalation fails, we do anything and engagement fails, when we come and we'll come with the full force of the law in a manner that dignifies us as a people, please don't complain. And it is here that we want to seek your support as we do that in a way that the people will know that at the end of the day, if the police also get it right, they have people to speak for them. That the normal issue that when we get it right, it's no news. It's normal. But as soon as we seem to got it wrong, even if the facts are not clear, it's a big news. Let's help ourselves to avoid that. So in summary, in terms of the preparation for the election, this is just the essence I want to give you to be comfortable and use it to tell your people who listen to you across the country that Ghana will continue to enjoy the peace that it has been enjoying during this period of the election. And even that peace, because of the way all of us will work together to prosecute this election in a manner that winners will know that they have won. Losers will also know that they have lost and they have lost fair. And therefore, they have no business trying to incite anybody to do anything that will disturb the peace. Will be clear in their mind, and there will be no motivation for them to do that. And this country will continue to enjoy the peace that we cherish so dearly, for which we have become the envy of the rest of the continent. Now, let me speak to the reason why we are here today. We are here today because we know the critical role that you are playing in this country. And we know how critical that role has become during these particular elections. And for that matter, we are concerned about your safety and security. So we decided to call you and let you know what we have put in place to give you the peace of mind, for you to be able to go about your duties without any fear of thinking that something will happen to you, or happen to your household, or happen to the institution that you work. So that is the main purpose. And we are doing it in a manner that one of my colleagues will speak to in terms of the 6 or 7 points that we put in place to work with you. This time, a little different from what you have been experiencing in the past. And when we're able to work together on this line, we can assure you, you yourself will have more confidence to go out there and do your job. You have more confidence to operate from the facilities that you work with, and you have more confidence to close from work and go to home safely without thinking of any harm being done to you. So that is the reason why we call you. And when your officers leave, we can have a discussion and tell you in detail what it takes, and then we take more input from you to improve upon what we want to serve you with. In conclusion, you are once again welcome. But I have one plea. And the plea is that you are such a powerful force in our democratic dispensation. One thing that is of concern to all of us is information. And the concern becomes very negative when it is misinformation and disinformation. We should make sure that we work together so that during this elections period, misinformation, more information, and disinformation will have no role in this. It is for that reason that we are setting up National Election Security Task Force Press Briefing Center, a tent, air conditioned with a capacity to take on the average of 100 reporters. You can come, we'll serve you with coffee, we'll serve you with tea, and of course biscuits. And relax, and you can be with us 24/7. And we will be sharing the information with the speed of light. Something has happened, it has come to our attention, we are dealing with it, we'll come and give you more details. And if you have more details to give us, you bring it to our attention, we'll cross-check, then we put it out there. And instantly, every now and then, there's somebody there to speak. And we are doing that in a manner that has also not been done before. The people who will be speaking on these matters will be speaking in 7 languages, so that we'll be able to reach everybody, for everybody to get understand. So what is the plea that we want from you as you help us to fight misinformation? Please, if you hear something, put your patriotic, nationalistic hat on first, so that you assess it to say, if it's the truth, and I put it out there, no problem. But if I'm not sure of it and it's a hearsay, please let's be a little patient. Check with us, check with any other institution or stakeholder who has better and further particulars on it, so that let us be very sure before we put it out there. That will save a lot of lives, and it will create an environment for people to make sure that they will also will not put any information that are not true out there, thinking that the media will carry it because this is what has come out. And by the time that the truth has come out, then the thing turned out to be something. But if the people get to know that the information going to go out there, even if the media hears it, they will make sure that they will not rush into it. They will dot some I's and cross some T's to be very sure to a reasonable extent before putting it out there. Those people will be very careful trying to shape around misinformation and disinformation. These are our plea to you. But for now, we want to speak to the reason why we call you. So once again, you are welcome, and we look forward to a fruitful deliberation. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Inspector General of Police. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the first session. May I kindly request the cameras to excuse us, the cameras and the reporters. Please leave only your senior persons with us for the second session. Thank you.